Alright, welcome along everyone. Let me undeafen my co-host here so he can actually hear me. The intro has finished. I'm Doof. Let me introduce my co-host here.
I am the True Blue.
Might be a familiar voice on this channel, but welcome along everyone who's joined at this point, which is still pretty early. We've got, I think, the first playoffs round of 32. There's been some challengers round of 32 played, but no playoffs yet. And I am very excited to announce that it's going to be a really good one. It's going to be Thessa versus Swagtusk.
I'm excited for this. Isn't that Chaos versus High Elves, if I remember correctly?
It is Chaos versus High Elves, which is a really fun one. Big Chuck with the raid of 11. What is up, everybody? Welcome.
Can I just do a quick shout out?
Yeah.
To all those Big Chuck people. Thank you guys for watching me play my last game, and you guys are in for a treat in this one.
They're watching you play? Nice.
They just watched me win my playoff game 2 seconds ago.
Yep. Thank you, Onigoku and Nillyman, for the follow, and welcome to REBBL Playoffs. This is going to be a really fun game. I think Chaos vs. High Elves is a really interesting matchup, especially when you have two teams that are as developed as these two. True, I've got Conspiration Entrepique up on screen right now, so we can take a look at them.
Okay.
For reference, this team was in REL 3C last season and won the first ever Challengers Cup to get the automatic promotion straight to Div 1, where they did well enough to reach playoffs. So clearly, no fluke that Thessa made a deep run in the postseason last year, and he's back to make another deep run. What do you feel? How do you feel about this team?
I really, really like this team. They have their killer that everybody needs in Newton. The one piece that I think is surprisingly good in a High Elf game is Darwin. Because of the tentacles, there might be overcommitment of resources to try to get that block Minotaur off the players, and it might just condense the team and the opposition in general.
Yeah, not just tentacles, but also stand firm on top of that. So he is going to be really difficult to push off, and tentacles obviously are super, super obnoxious for any agility team. It is a little...
So,
go ahead.
So, yeah, just the block stand firm. It's going to either you're going to let him do his job, and he's going to tie up pieces, or you dedicate too many resources. I think the Minnow is the surprising piece in this game.
Yeah. Everything else, really solid development across this entire team. Not too dedicated to kill. A little bit of a bummer to see De Broglie on here. Must have died recently. He's still a rookie. Kind of a rough thing to have in playoffs. And then he's got a couple pending level ups. One on a really good piece, and one on a piece that I'm sure he didn't want leveled.
Yeah. Who cares if you didn't want him leveled? You just take Wrestle and you keep it for playoffs.
Yeah, I think so. Or he doesn't have Kick yet. He could just put Kick on there.
But if you put Kick on him, then he's all of a sudden off line duty, and that's one of your few pieces that are worth line duty.
That's a good point. Yeah, that's the one problem of having everyone developed on this team. But enough about him. Let's take a look at the Resplendent Romans. This is Swagtusk, or as his coach name is in Blood Bowl, hashtag 420nochin. This is a 2K High Elf team, and like most 2K High Elf teams, it's got plenty of bullshipoopy in it.
Yeah, that movement bust on the thrower does not matter at all because he throws long bombs on a 2+.
He is a cannon. He is literally an artillery piece in the backfield that the catchers are all trying to catch from.
I also love his movement up killer. This is a really nice looking High Elf team. I think the only thing that I don't like about it is that the Blitzers don't have sidestep yet.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't mind taking tackle after dodge on both of them, and then when you get guard, you take guard. Having 3 guard on this team is actually going to be huge for his ability to run defense.
I agree. Guard is amazing. I just know as a personal fact of running High Elves this season personally, the sidestep on the Blitzers changed my defense for the better.
Yep, that's why Pro Elf Blitzers are so good.
He has agility and strong arm. Isn't that a 2+, Mr. Christie?
I think technically it is a... Actually, I think that might be a 2+, because my agility 4 strong arm accurate. No, my agility 4 strong arm accurate thrower was throwing bombs on a 3+. So he would
Yeah,
need
but that's an
accurate.
agility 5 piece,
Yeah, but
not an
accurate
agility 4.
accurate makes him agility 5 on passes essentially.
Okay.
So he would need the +1. He would need the accurate to get the 2+ bombs. So, oh no, he's throwing 8 and 9 passes with safe throw halfway across the field.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's so
it
much
changes
worse.
the game.
So, and I really like the way that Swag has built each of these catchers to kind of do something different. You know, it's almost kind of similar to the way Skaven built gutter runners. You've got the sacking threat with the agility 5 leap wrestle strip ball. You have the killer, movement 9 mighty blow tackle. You've got the strength 4 who can kind of be really a secondary ball carrier because strength 4 is just such a pain to knock over. And then you've got the blodge guy who's too new to have specialized yet. But he's still blodge, and he's still movement 8.
Okay. But, oh man, I'm just so excited to see this game. I think both teams are really well built.
They are. They are incredibly well built. It is 2 minutes past the hour when they are to have started, so let's see if the game has gone live yet in Cabal TV.
They are not live yet. We are waiting probably through inducements.
That makes sense. So while we're waiting here, if you had to pick one team that you think has a slight edge in this matchup, and I mean both these teams are coming in basically at full strength, everything they want to be, who do you think has the advantage here?
Wait. Chab just said it's not live. Week isn't advanced.
Oh, that is going to be...
use your admin powers.
I can't admit... I don't know if I can do that. Let's see.
But if I had to pick a favorite, I'd pick Thessa. He's proven to be a winner in playoff situations.
Yep. It looks like the other admins are already on it, so the round will be rolled momentarily.
Yeah.
We just gotta wait for a couple final things. I know we're waiting on 1 or 2 games to be played, so those have to be put into a side comp so that the rest of the games can move forward.
Beautiful.
But sorry, not to interrupt you. You were saying you think the High Elves have the advantage here?
No, Chaos.
You think Chaos
Thessa.
has the advantage? Why do you think Chaos has the advantage?
Well, it's not necessarily Chaos has the advantage because they're both insanely well-developed teams. It's Thessa has the advantage because I know he knows that he knows how to play in the game. That's playoff situation. He's been there, done that. He's won Challengers Cup, which is essentially the training program. One thing that I said last season when they announced the Challengers Cup, and I said that playoffs will have a higher standard because those coaches that were always on the cusp, now they have the experience.
Gotcha.
So
yeah, and I think it's the people like to say things about the Challengers Cup that I don't agree with, but realistically, it's just playoffs. The only difference being instead of a trophy at the end, you just get a Div 1 ticket. So I think
if you approach it with the
sorry, you cut out there for a second. Hold on one moment. We might have just lost True. Uh-oh. Well, it's a good thing the game isn't live yet. Wait, now I can hear typing. True, say something.
Something.
Okay, you're back. So, I don't know what happened there.
My internet's been spotty today. Sorry.
Bummer. That's okay. But what were you saying right when your internet kind of pooped out there for a second?
We always say playoff nerves are a thing.
Mm-hmm.
And the only way to deal with playoff nerves is to play playoff games.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's
and Thessa
at the end of the day, that's true.
Thessa got 5 of those games last season, or 6 of those games last season, plus the one that he won in the round of 64. And David does have a good point. You do get a mug, so that if you consider a mug a trophy, which I do, you do get a trophy for winning challengers.
But
I'm actually, so not just to be contrarian, although a little bit to be contrarian. I think I like Swagtusk's team in this.
420 no chin.
Yep, 420 no chin. I don't think the Chaos are going to be able to keep up with the speed at which the High Elves can score if they really want to focus on scoring. I do think it comes down a little bit to who wins the initial coin toss. Obviously, there's if the Chaos get to stall out for 8 turns and punch Elves for 8 turns, that could be a very different game than if the Elves get to go first. But I think the Elves are going to be able to maintain tempo in this game, and all it takes is one bad turn for Thessa for Swag to be able to get in and pop the ball loose.
Yeah. The scary part about defending as Elves Incesticide is there's potential that all of your Elves die before you even have a chance against Thessa's team.
Yeah, I definitely understand the mentality. I think with Swag's team, where pretty much every single elf is good, he's got limited meat to kind of throw into the grinder before he starts having to stack really good pieces on the line. I would almost consider just scoring fast, like do a 2-turn score if possible, or maybe 3-turn, and then have most of your team still alive and then go for the defense up 1-0 as opposed to defending first and letting Swag just kind of roll down the field, or not Swag, sorry, Thessa roll down the field, grinding it out.
Yeah. So the one thing I actually really like about getting offense first as an agility team, if you could score turn 4, turn 5, the Bash team, all of a sudden, they want to score on that half because they have enough time to do so, and they're going to be riskier with positioning, which will allow sacks. That's what I did a lot this last season as High Elves, and I was fairly successful with it.
Yep. But the cool thing about Blood Bowl is, like, there's no single right answer to a lot of these questions, I think.
Yeah.
Like, it's all stylistic.
All of it is how much you're willing to risk. That's pretty much all it is.
Yep, exactly. So it looks like the round has been rolled, so my guess is they will be popping into inducements shortly here.
Swagtusk is in here right now.
There it is.
Perfect.
All right, thank you, Swag, for the update, and good luck in your game, and tell Thessa good luck in his game as well. Just roll sixes is the only 100% always objectively accurate truth about Blood Bowl.
If you roll sixes, unless it's on your armor, you're going to do really good. Alder, I fixed it for him. It's fine.
Can I do a poll? How do I do a poll in?
I think you have to have a
extension.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Create new poll.
Who
wins? Thessa, Swag, Tusk. All right. We're gonna do a quick poll here as to who's gonna win Thessa versus Swagtusk. As I'm just stalling out for a few minutes here, this should at least run hopefully through setups.
Early on in the voting, it is 67% for Thessa through 6 votes.
Yeah. No.
All right. See you, Swagtusk.
All right. See you, Swag. So they are in inducements. We should be live in just a moment here. Yeah, it's looking like... so 50... Wow, it is dead even. Thessa and Swagtusk here. Loving that. A little bit of division in the audience here, which is always good. This is Rel versus Big O, so I don't know if that...
that has something to do with it.
That has something to do with it.
People
possibly.
hate winners.
And Thessa, obviously, if he could become the first coach to have both a Challengers Cup victory and a Super Bowl under his belt. And yeah, True Chris is a good point. Thessa's team isn't as pure just murder chaos. It actually does have some depth to it.
Yeah. That's one thing that I really liked about we casted Colin's team in 3C all season. That's the thing I loved about his team.
Yeah. No, I think
so
Chaos teams
Thessa can captain him well. I really like his chances.
Chaos teams that don't mass claw palm tend to do much better than Chaos teams that just rely on the armor dice and the injury dice.
Mm-hmm.
Altar.
And then Swagtusk.
And Larkstar, yes, there are still Bego teams in the playoffs. They even won some games this season. It's not only that, it's been a fun playoffs. I guess I can talk about it now because it's been more than 24 hours. We had some Bretonians win through to the round of 32, which is always fun to see. Not that often that Bretonian teams see much success, so it's always good to see the lesser known teams doing well.
Isn't that Cleric that one?
I think I was it Calric? I know the Burt Space Bounty Hunters one was one of them, but
Okay.
that's a different team. I don't know. I didn't even know if Calric was in this season. And it's looking like the final result is going to be the audience is split as we time out here. 50-50 to Thessa and Swagtusk. People cannot
All right.
decide. This is a fun and interesting matchup.
How about we do a poll to see if they break the touchdown record?
I don't think if the teams with one turners couldn't break this touchdown record, I do not think we're going to see Chaos and High Elves break the touchdown record.
I just wanted to shout that out because that was crazy. I thought that was going to be maybe a 5-4 game the other day between Rama and Finney.
And then,
oh my gosh, the blizzard.
Yeah, and then it was a blizzard the entire time, and nobody wanted to one turn.
Yeah.
We are live, by the way. True, Thessa's biggest weakness is probably a Chaos Mirror. I'd argue a Chorf Mirror or a Chorf match, possibly. Because Chorfs are going to have more guard, they will have Claw, and with Thessa not having a huge amount of Claw, AV9 control teams might be able to control him.
Okay. So, by the way, Swagtusk did get a wizard and a babe, so he splurged into his own cash, I believe, for those two things.
Yes, there's probably about 100k difference when Thessa took his levels. And I see, looking at the levels, the Beastman, Dirty Player Beastman did take kick. So I think Thessa's treating that as just a nice to have while the Beastman is still on the field. And the Wrestle Tackle Dodge 2-head goat took diving tackle, so he rolled a double there. And that is a fun piece.
So the Chaos actually won the toss and they chose to defend. Not surprised at all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's going to force... Ironically, if I was in the high elf position, I'd actually be perfectly happy with taking offense first and just scoring fast, but Swag may not feel the same way here.
No, with his thrower, I wouldn't be scared of taking offense first at all.
Yeah, exactly.
He can stall it fairly well.
All he has to do is just send 4 catchers downfield into scoring range and just basically tells Thessa, all right, cover all of these. Because whichever one you leave the most open is getting thrown to.
Yeah, and not only that, but he can say, cover all of these. By the way, you have to cover them for 6 turns.
Yep, exactly. So, interesting setup here from Thessa. What is the advantage here of putting his Warriors and Minotaur 1 row back?
He wants to make sure that the High Elves don't get any free movement, essentially. If you're going to hit these players on the line of scrimmage, you can't follow up unless you want to get Claw Bonds. Well, Claw and Mighty Blow.
Yep.
And also the great thing about having these 3 players in the middle is that they can react to either side if Swagtusk decides to stack one side over the other.
Definitely true. Of course, the fun part about Swag's team is he can just stack both sides. But and Thessa will not be fast enough to threaten the ball if he can just hold the ball in the backfield for a turn and then run up and pass next turn. And True saying this also gives Thessa a lot of tools in case of a blitz.
I won't disagree.
He's going to have the potential for a Minotaur move to get in. You could...
I really like... Sorry, I just noticed one of the levels that was taken on the Rackler on Thessa's team. Diving Tackle.
Yep,
I
I
love that
Yep.
choice.
Oh yeah. No, that is a really really fun piece. I definitely agree with you. Um, so we are going to see the kick here. Um, Kick is short, so he might be angling for a blitz here.
Yeah, and he did take kick on the dirty player.
Yep, correct. Um, so interesting actually that he kicked short. One of the things now it's going to be more difficult for Swagtusk to get the ball into the backfield to the thrower. He's going to have to pick up on someone else and hand off. Or he's going to pick up on the thrower and he's going to have to protect it.
So there's two players that have stand firm in this situation, and he hit one of the stand firm players.
Yep, looks like he's fine with that guy not moving.
And then there's an extra hit once again.
Yep. Swagtusk just trying to see if he'll get a lucky armor break here. Who do you think his blitz target is in this case?
I think it's going to be onto the dirty player kicker, just because he does not have to get an extra assist for it to be a 2-die.
Yep.
Based on where the catcher is.
And with with that move, I was gonna say with that move, I think you're right, but he's left him one back there, just trying to.
Well, he doesn't need the assist.
No, he does on strength 3 because the catcher's only strength 3.
No, there's a strength 4.
Oh, there is, but he does use the strength 3 piece. Doesn't get anything out of it. This is true. Schrodinger does have an armor bust, so that's a potentially tasty target for the Mighty Blow. Looks like we are going to see movement up the field here. There's a nice little pocket there for the Strength 4 Scipio Nasica Corculum to sit in. Yo, 130, how you doing? As Swag takes a moment here to think about his next moves. And I think he's realizing, like, oh, who do I use to pick up the ball here?
Well, he obviously used the super thrower, but I think the big thing that he has to consider is what happens if he breaks through my line and gets the minnow onto the ball.
Yep. And that's the risk of using the super thrower, because the super thrower will use most of his movement just to pick up the ball. He's not going to be able to get out of range. I'm wondering if it's worth it to use the movement, the agility 5 catcher to run over, pick up, and pass backwards.
I think that's a little bit too rich for my blood.
It is risky.
One player that's really, really good at his job.
Yeah.
I think I just use that player to mark up the ball and make it more difficult for the minnow to get into a situation where he can mark up the thrower.
Yeah, I guess right now it's going to be really difficult for the minnow to be able to mark up the thrower. He does not have break tackle. Looks like Swag is gonna do the pass back though, and he's gonna drop the catch, but you might be okay letting this go. Nope.
Wow.
He does reroll. I guess he did get a free reroll. Oh, and he snakes it. So the scatter is fine. There's enough of a high elf line to where I don't think Thessa is going to be able to do much with this.
Well, the thing is that he couldn't do much with it if he failed it in the first place. That's why I'm kind of shocked that he invested the reroll.
Yeah. Maybe a little bit of playoff nerves there and just not wanting to fail anything. But that was a last action catch, basically. That's not going to change the plan turn 2, which is Scipio's just going to walk over, pick this up, and yeet it to whoever is not covered.
Mm-hmm. So I guess the one big thing about what could happen in this situation, Thessa stood up his players a little bit too quickly, but if he blitzed down the wrestler that was in the middle of the line, he could have done a 2 GFI play with the minnow to potentially mark up the ball, the tentacles.
And even if the minnow doesn't work, you could try it with the with Pythagore here for the same deal. You put tackle on the ball at least.
Yeah.
So you're at least forcing him to make a bunch of extra 2+s.
Yeah.
And probably throwing from a slightly worse position. Although with this guy's arm, I don't think it matters that much. Yeah, I guess it's possible here prioritize the 1 SPP too awesome. As I should take a moment. Debt Monkey, thank you for the sub, dude. Much appreciated. But yeah, Augustus here is on 70 out of 76, so with that pass, he would have been in MVP range. And getting that level 6, probably dodge, I would assume, on this catcher, for the rest of a potential playoff run would have been huge.
Definitely. Dodge, maybe even tackle if you really wanted it for those teams with sure hands.
Yeah. So you could still take 2 GFIs at the end of this turn to put Pythagore on the ball. You just have to blitz down Agrippa here on the end of the line with, I'm assuming, Schrodinger. Maybe not with Schrodinger.
I'm just not as a big fan of doing it without the potential tentacles backup. Yeah, potential. It would have been a 4+ to even get the minnow to move down the field. But I love that as like a last action thing that really could have screwed with Swagtusk positioning.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, I think he still, if he does move the Chaos Warrior down, it's as a last action, and it's basically as a, like, okay, dude, you want to score, go ahead and score. Give me plenty of time to grind this back on you. So we are going to get the Minotaur Blitz.
Ooh.
Thessa does like to blitz with Darwin.
I can see why.
And both Claw and Mighty Blow fire to stun Nero Claudius Drusus here.
And then he could put Diving Tackle onto the Strength 4.
He could.
Get support for the minnow.
So I think this makes Gaius Julius Caesar, assuming he does put Diving Tackle on the Strength 4 here, which definitely, would be the play. This probably makes Caesar over on the other side of the field the scoring threat, as there we go.
But the scary thing about that is that if you position things in such a way, he can't really get that extra assist to clear off Gaius Julius Caesar.
He doesn't have it right now, but let's see, what's the maximum
a 2 GFI
range?
blitz.
It would be a 2 GFI blitz, or he could just 1-die himself free, which the 1-die is just a single 2+. Well, 3+ technically, but a 2 is not a failure state. If Africanus wants to throw it into the end zone, does he have to be on the line of scrimmage, or can he be 1 square back?
He has to be on the line of scrimmage.
Okay, so he would have to take 2 GFIs to get up to the line of scrimmage. Would it be more worth it to just have him pick it up and throw it and catch on a 3+?
Brings up a good point. If you still want to score this turn, I believe there will be intercept threat because you can't really get rid of it due to the lack of movement.
Yeah.
On Scipio, but the Strength 4 is the best scoring threat.
Oh, good point. And I didn't see the wrestle in the backfield, so this definitely makes the most sense, especially when you POW it. So Augustus is the scoring threat. We are going to rely on the minnow not rolling a 6 to intercept, I think. He's not going to be able to get fully away from interception.
I would love if Darwin got the ball. I would go insane.
Yep, safe throw is a thing, but safe throw can fail.
Yeah, safe throw is an agility rule that can't be modified.
Yep.
So it's technically a 2+, right?
It is. With Agi 5, it is a 2+, I think.
Oh my gosh!
Oh my god! He finally picks it up. Finally picks it up,
guys.
And I think we are going to score this turn. As
yes.
Casual 2+2+ across many squares. No problem.
Here comes the scariest part of this entire situation: naked GFI.
Yep. Darwin did roll a 3 for those of you wondering how he was doing on the interception. Oh dear. Well, that's going to be your reroll. And he does make it.
Swag was sweating there. I could just feel it.
Yep.
He's just like, I better not snake again.
Little bit unfortunate dice burning a couple rerolls, but the result is the same. Swagtusk does score. Aldar pointing out this now gets put into 2-1 grind situation for the Chaos, so we get to see Swag's defense. Because the only way he's going to stop that 2-1 grind is with an aggressive defense.
Yeah, he does have a wizard. He does have a sacker. This could be just what Swagtusk needed, and if he gets up 2-0, the game's not over, but it becomes really difficult. There's almost no margin for error from the Chaos.
It becomes incredibly hard for the Chaos, as basically Thessa is going to have to live in fear of that wizard for the rest of this game. As the unfortunate thing about the High Elves here, he's going to have to leave a guard on the sideline because he does not want to put it on the line to take a claw punch.
I would almost take off the thrower. Give you one extra lineman for defensive positioning.
It is true. However, given that the thrower is Agi 5...
That movement bust in recovery situations.
Yeah, but just if you can get it to him, all of a sudden you're in an amazing position. Assuming he doesn't snake the catch again, because, I mean, that did happen.
Yeah, incesticide the thrower can pick up, but we have to remember the movement bust is there.
Yeah.
It's harder for him to get in position to do so.
It is more difficult, definitely.
And Truk is calling it out. You cannot punish a blitz if you're all the way back here.
Yep.
I think he's definitely going to play more passive defense, wait for the opportunity to use the wizard or use the sacker.
Yeah, I don't think he... This is very aggressive from Thessa. Fully stacking the line.
He's not scared of the blitz.
Yeah, well, the way Swag's set up, why would you be?
The only thing that could hurt him is a shallow kick
Oh,
to
there is.
the weak side.
That is a shallow kick. And a perfect defense. Just to make matters slightly worse.
And the other thing I don't like about the Rule 5 defense is if they blitz down the kicker and the minnow activates on that 4-up, all of a sudden lots of your players are tied up by tentacles.
Yeah.
You have to consider tentacles when you're playing against it in this fashion.
You could throw guard back in, it's true. Given that it is a perfect defense, but again, it's kind of who do you take out? I think the only person you could take out is the thrower, who, by the way, didn't notice, but did level off that pass.
T-Self, if you have support for the minnow, if he does his job, then all of a sudden, it's a situation where he won't get knocked down and lots of your players are getting tied up.
Something Swag could do, just take the kick out and put the guard in. The kick's done his job.
That's a great shout.
Yeah. Just,
Too Awesome, I actually think, did that shout.
Yeah. Too Awesome said it. And if you set up a Protect 5 closer, you're kind of getting the worst of both worlds here. You didn't punish the blitz, and it's going to be that much easier for Thessa to just base your entire team. But that's what he's doing, so...
Okay.
High Elf coach, tell me if you agree with this line of play, because I'm a Bash coach, so...
I already said I don't like the Rule 5 against tentacles.
Yeah, okay, so this
That's
is
my
just...
ground.
Oh, this is maybe not the rule of 5?
It's not... Okay, he's adjusting against the tentacles. I like it.
Not too bad.
And that's a touchback.
Unfortunate for Swag there. But realistically, this guy was always going to pick up the ball anyway, so I don't know if it changes too much, except one less roll for Thessa. And that is a very aggressive spot for him to put that ball. versus an Agi 5 leap wrestle piece. I am hoping
And wizard.
that gets caged. I assume that has to get caged, right?
He might be baiting out something. If he can think of a way that they won't get all the way around him if he uses the wizard, he might be okay with the situation.
Yeah. I guess
It's the old T-self play. As long as nothing too terrible happens on the wizard, I'm fine.
Yep. Looks like it is going to be a minnow blitz, as I think he's trying to...
He could get 4 players on a minnow.
Theoretically, you could, I think you could surf this guy from this position. Ah, not anymore.
No, I think he wants to get 4 players on a minnow and blitz the kicker.
Yep. Oh, and there's our first injury of the game. Didn't even need
T-self, if he has support, it's not a dead minnow.
So that is the bench gone.
There's no support yet because the play hasn't happened yet.
I guess the problem I'm seeing is supporting the minnow means not supporting the ball in this situation. You kind of have enough players left to do one or the other. Although, the more he moves up, the more I'm thinking he's gonna try to just stick the minnow in an awkward spot and tell Swagtusk.
If the minnow eats up all the resources, you're fine with that situation.
Yeah. It's a 3-die with the minnow here, and if you can follow through, you can follow through potentially onto 3 players. 4 if you don't knock over Camillus here.
Well, it's going to be potentially 4 or 3, sorry, if he kills that player along the way.
Yep. Yeah, the risk there, as Self points out, though, is you're basing yourself voluntarily on Mighty Blow with the Minotaur, which is only a V8, so it could die.
Anything in Blood Bowl could die at any moment.
Yep.
I don't think you sacrifice positioning just because it could die.
Yep. I like the positioning, the diving tackle here, by the way. Right 2 squares behind the ball, making it significantly... Oh, here we go. Just a stun. And Darwin, I think, will just slot himself right in the middle of all those catchers.
If he rolls a push... Ooh.
Nope. He is actually just going to go on 1 blitzer.
I was going to say, if he rolls pushes on that Mighty Blow piece, it does not get a knockdown.
Yep.
You're fine with that entire situation.
Yep. I actually like his positioning here of the minnow. It's in the way still for the Romans. It's basing up against one of Swagtusk's better defensive pieces, which is the guard on the blitzer. This is still a very hittable ball, and a very wizardable ball, but the positioning of the diving tackle makes it difficult for Swag to get the ball out. Yeah.
Yeah. It makes it hard to invest, that is for sure.
Yep.
If he still wanted a 2D sack, he still has a 2D sack with the catcher.
Yeah.
That's strength 4. You just have to mark up the Chaos Warrior on the other side.
Yep.
But I don't think he will do that. I think the way that he set up initially said to me that he's waiting for the right opportunity.
That's also some 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's also some crazy dodges through, I think, to get that 2D sack. I don't know if you would...
You're looking way too far. It'd be dodging through that Chaos Warrior bits. It's not great.
No.
I think he's going to be passive here.
Yeah, I think this is not the turn to go all in on the ball, in my opinion. I think Thessa's positioning here is very solid.
I just wanted to point that out. The sack is possible, but I highly doubt it's going to happen.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think with this high elf team, the sack is always going to be possible. I think Thessa's play is smart here. He's not trying to stop the sack. He's just trying to make the sack really unattractive this turn. And he just has to do that far enough up the field to where he can run it in on any given turn, and then it becomes a guessing game for Swagtusk. Like, when do I drop the wizard?
We're seeing some basing.
We're seeing some punches here.
It's always risky basing those elves a little bit more than they need to be based.
You are basing up... Well, it's Blodge against the Chaos Warrior. And obviously the other Blodge guy stuck on the Minotaur will probably try to dodge out last action. Yeah, I think he could have done that a little better if he had blitzed Rutherford on the edge here, because he could have not left Agrippa in contact and accomplished the same thing.
Yes.
But
30% of the time, the POW happens on a 2-die block against Blodge, no tackle, so...
Yep, it is risky. Not a great amount of risk, as we do see Tentacles do a thing. And that, with Frenzy, that's actually a pretty decent chance for Darwin to knock over Caesar here.
Pretty decent chance to knock him over, and then all of a sudden you have more players based up with the minnow.
I would assume you move the Strength 4 catcher here, because you do not want to have the minnow, push himself onto more players.
It kind of looks like this is his screen, though. Because if you move the Strength 4 catcher, all of a sudden your Super Thrower could be blitzed.
This is true.
So, this is what Swagtusk is deciding to do.
I think we will see the Super Catcher get blitzed, though. If Darwin can push the blitzer off here and base up, Darwin's got guard, so you can then hit the Super Catcher. And hitting that with Claw Palm seems like a pretty good strategy to me.
I think he slots in guard next to that Super Catcher. You definitely go for the Claw Palm hit on it.
Yeah.
And then you hope that you can just get a 3-die block and a 3-die block, so that way there's less of a chance of Darwin turning over for you, and then all of a sudden you get more players based up with the minnow.
Yeah, you can slot Einstein over. Could even just blitz off the Super Catcher then with, what's his name, the killer, Newton. As Agrippa is fine, so the basing doesn't hurt Swag yet, except for field position. We are just going to go with the 2-die, and
it's a 1 and 9.
We're going to get a 1 and 9, so... also not a terrible blitz target, that guard blitzer.
No, not at all. He has to move that wrestle piece out of the way so that way he can get that angle block to keep him onto the minnow if he does decide if that's the blitz target.
You probably want to move him anyway, because otherwise you're kind of leaving the ball a little bit more exposed than you'd like, I think.
Also true.
I think Swagtusk has to be pretty happy with how the first few turns have gone so far, at least in the sense of that he's still got a team and he's not really giving up too much in terms of field position or his ability to threaten the ball. Yeah, you definitely want to keep the guard pinned. I agree, Luke.
Thessa's just deciding how he wants to position this. Uh, there's a lot of factors that he has to consider. The strength 4 being one of them. The wizard, the wrestle piece.
Yep. And here we go. He is able to
This
go in.
push.
Doesn't get it. Probably not going to... Yeah, doesn't follow here. And that's a pretty exposed killer now. Unfortunately, the Mighty Blow is on the other side of the pitch, but could reach if Swagtusk wants to push it.
He's going to protect it with guard.
But then again, are you protecting the ball enough?
If you protect it with guard, you're still screening it off.
Yeah, but he's got...
From more recovery.
Yeah.
I don't hate it.
But with the Wizard in play and the Agi 5 Leaper, in range here, I guess this is now fairly well protected. So you can move the Guard Warrior around up front, and I think you're fine as he does just that. And yeah, this is now...
So the big thing I like about the positioning right now for Thessa is if the Lightning Bolt does come in, there's a 2 out of 8 chance that the ball is going to land in tentacles.
Mm-hmm. And a 3 out of 8 chance that it lands in diving tackle. So there's really only 3 squares that are safe for Swag here. Yeah, the Agi 5 is a little bit back. We could potentially see
25%. Yep. Sorry, I was just thinking of how stupid I was. 2 out of 8 is 25%.
Well, close enough. There is a world, though, where we could see some dodges around by the movement 9, and you could leap through and get a 1-die on the ball here. Mm-hmm. So you bring the movement 9 around to base up De Broglie, take away that assist, and then you leap over Augustus, dodge him in with agility 5, and hit the ball. But instead, we are going to see a smack on Pythagore here. He is completely fine. And I think Swagtusk just wants to screen here.
The thing that's tough about the elf screen, I'm going to keep on bringing it up, is that minnow. He's going to bring a lot of problems if you compact too much against this team.
The proverbial bull in the china shop, as it were. Good point. You could bolt the Killer, the Minotaur, or you could fireball the Killer, the Minotaur, and the ball here all at once. That would, of course, mean you'd be doing a fireball, which, as we all know, is not great, but...
If you don't want a 9, you have 3 players that will be tied up.
Yeah, and this is...
4 now. Potential for 4 now.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, it's the law of fireballs is difficult to pin down because it's highly dependent...
It's either amazing or it isn't.
Well, it's highly dependent on what people are expecting out of it and who's expecting what out of it. Because if we're expecting nothing out of it, then by law it should be a nuclear blast that kills at least the Minotaur. But interesting that he chooses to push and not wrestle here, but I guess he wants to... Oh, he wants the follow-up hit with the Killer.
It looks like he's just going to do a blitz with the minnow.
Yep. As Tackle's going to do a thing, I think he piles on here. I don't think the High Elves are going to be able to foul him effectively. Well, especially now that he's broken armor. But maybe not now that he's gotten the removal. So that's a guard out. Probably best case scenario for Swagtusk, though. He does have the Babe, so Caesar will likely be back at some point during this game.
You say something likely with KOs, and I'm just thinking my last game I just played.
Yeah, it's fair. He has a 66% chance at least one or two more times this game.
It looks like he's just fine chugging along down the sideline.
Yeah, he is basing up, forcing the High Elves to continually dodge out and screen up a couple squares back. He's got time here. He is going to run out of it eventually. So it's nice that the ball has crossed the line of scrimmage here, but he is going to need to push a little bit further forward. As we do see the blitz come in. Not going to find it on
He's going to try to
catcher.
pin a player on the sideline.
Yep. And he's just going to get the POW. Self.
That's for Surf next turn.
Yep. Self thinks this is the bolt turn. And honestly, I don't think that blodge catcher stands up until the Minotaur moves at this point. If Tentacles fires, that catcher gets surfed. And the Minotaur, obviously, with Stand Firm, can't get counter-surfed. There's no Juggernaut on this High Elf team, and we are going to see the bolt from Swag. That's a pretty good spot for it, actually.
That is what you want.
Yeah.
You
can just leap in.
You can blitz down. No, you don't even have to leap in. You have your Mighty Blow movement up piece. You can blitz down the killer because of the guard situation.
Oh, and you can leap out.
You can do a 2+ dodge with the thrower, pick up on a 2+, dodge out, get the recovery, throw it back to the Agi 5 catcher.
Yeah, this is now... Oh, but that's not good. He's going to have to reroll that.
You have rerolls for everything else. You're still fine.
Yep. So now you just have to get... Trayanis has to get out of the way here, which he's going to do. 2+ with a built-in reroll. 2+ with a built-in reroll. Take these dodges one at a time, I think.
The only thing is this thrower might die.
Yep.
You might have to burn the apothecary just to save his life after all this.
That's why I'm wondering if you don't just go in with the catcher, pick it up, and then leap out and get out that way.
With no reroll, that's too risky for my ball.
That's fair. Yeah, there's no... You could... One die the Chaos Warrior, which is in itself incredibly risky. As dodge is burned. Does get it.
And he went the...
I think he throws.
Tackle the second dodge?
Yeah.
Pathing wise? I just want to point that out. Small pathing error.
Yep. Could have...
It didn't matter in the end as you burned.
Yep. Could have made the same dodge, and the ball is out. The thrower has been sacrificed to Nuffle. Now, how do you protect this ball?
You start running it backwards. You just got to get out of... You can just do a fairly good just screen. You get behind the thrower. As long as you get 2 dodge outs, one of them being with dodge from the blitzer, and then one more dodge out from one of these linemen, you're completely fine with this situation.
Yeah. I'd love to see...
Self, he's near the killer. That's how he's been sacrificed.
Yeah, I think if you blitz the thrower next turn with the killer, he's going to have a very bad time. And Dirty Player is on the sideline, unfortunately, so not going to get as effectively stepped on here. And Swag is just going to put him back in the corner.
So are you saying that it's impossible to blitz the thrower, centralize your killer, T-Self? Because that's entirely possible in this situation.
Well, Lark has a good point. You don't even need to blitz. You just shove him with the wrestle piece. As Tentacles does not fire on Strength 4. And that's a decent screen. 2, 3, 4, 5. It's still possible for Rutherford over here to hit the ball. But it's going to require some GFIs and some dodges.
There's Just one thing I didn't like about that turn from Thessa is he went for the setting up the surf, which in reality is a good play most of the time. But the fact that he could have gotten 4 players tied up with the minnow, that would have changed the entire dynamic of this game.
Yeah, I think it was a little too loose of a cage and a little too loose of the screen in front of the cage. There was plenty of holes for Swag to exploit. What he was doing on previous turns was he's keeping a really tight cage and a really tight screen in front of it to make sure that the High Elves couldn't get through easily. And if they did bolt, they wouldn't have good recovery options. But you can see this screen in front. He's basically covered off the entire field here, but there was this big gap in the middle of it that was exploitable. And yeah, I think Swag is going to throw a scoring threat downfield next turn that he's just going to pitch it to.
Next turn, it makes more sense. His goal is probably just get the ball out.
Yeah.
If you can get it to be not a 2-1 grind game, you're happy as Swagtusk. Right
Worst
now.
case scenario, he can just punt it. Like this guy can get down to the line of scrimmage, throw it back to
Just
around
do the push.
Thessa's logo.
Good.
Yep.
The killer now gets a free hit, and then he can do the blitz elsewhere.
Yep. Probably with Garfield. Or Darwin, I mean.
Ooh. And he didn't set up for that extra hit. That would have been a 3-die block, albeit against the Chaos Warrior with no skills.
Thrower getting passed around like hot potato here. Could frenzy the thrower with Darwin. That would be 6 dice against him. Sooner or later, something's gotta. He doesn't. The thrower doesn't even have block. A both down would have been enough.
This thrower has just said, "I'm sacrifice." Lol.
Yep. Yeah, no. Lark, I would have turned off dodge too, but Thessa correctly didn't even give Swagtusk the option. He just pushed him.
Yeah. These block dice have been horrible for Thessa this turn.
Yeah, he's Nuffle's not bailing him out here, and the Chaos are pretty horrifically out of position here, if I'm being honest. That helps a little bit, but really not that much. There is a big hole in the center of this Chaos screen here.
Here comes the blitz.
There it is. All right, Scipio.
Oh.
Completely fine.
The thing about that is the Agility 5 has a way out with less dice now.
Yeah. What is that, a 3+2+ out with dodge?
Sideline Cage is
risky,
terrifying incesticide. Just because the Beastman with Rackle has 2 heads as well.
Yeah, look, and he's very central, so he can. I'm wondering if the play here is not just to yeet it with Augustus.
It's not going to be to yeet it at all. He's going to try to keep control of the ball, but it's going to be hard positioning-wise. If I had to guess who the blitz was this turn, Schrodinger will probably be the blitz, and then he'll try to get a scoring threat down the field.
Yeah, he's got his movement 9 will be able to just sprint. His movement 9 can get so far down the field. Yeah, all he needs. Yep. That tells me that Scipio is gonna smack this guy right in the face. Gets a stun. Armor 8 didn't even matter. Schrodinger was going down regardless, but this is interesting.
I want to see a scoring threat.
Maybe he is trying to sideline screen. I don't think it's good, but that's kind of what he's setting up like he's trying to do here. Oh, God.
That's a potential surf.
Well,
that's a potential surf.
This is a choice from Swagtusk. Yeah. No, Lark, I don't disagree with you.
It's still a potential surf.
Um,
Even more of the surf isn't changing.
so what is that, a 4+? As soon as he slots, yep, as soon as he slots that. Oh, I would have made it tighter, honestly.
No, so the reason he did that is the catcher is now a scoring threat.
I
But
see.
it allows an easier surf.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You could theoretically dodge
We even have
Camillus
Zunk in the
out.
chat. Sorry, I just
Hey.
got a shout out Zunk.
What's up,
Welcome
Zunk?
to the show, buddy.
Yeah, welcome. Welcome, everyone. I see 50 people here. It's pretty awesome. Tackle's going to do a thing and going to end probably the turn. I don't think you burn your last reroll. As Scipio is going to go down, trying to dodge himself through. Is there any world where Thessa doesn't just click, what's his name here? Click boar here and then click the ball?
Yeah, because you have to do safe moves first.
True. You do have to base up. You do have to base up Agrippa first as well. And I would bring back Lavoisier as a pickup threat next turn. And yeah, no, as I was saying, Lark, if Swag doesn't score here, this isn't great for him. Even if Thessa doesn't steal and score back, going in 1-0 up with the Chaos receiving the ball just means the Chaos are going to punch you for 8 turns and try to take it to overtime. And against this team with plenty of Claw Mighty Blow, you could see a lot more Elves in the Kaz box at the end of the game here.
I think he just has to set up going for the surf.
Yeah, Self has a point.
Positioning tells me he's going for it.
Self has a good point. He could have done this exact same setup, but just one square off the edge, and it would have been completely fine.
And it wouldn't have been completely fine. It would have been a 3+ dodge for a sec.
But it's still better
and that's
than
not a Roger.
Yeah,
it's not Roger that you're going up against.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I really don't like this. I think a little bit of a tactical misplay here by Swagtusk. It's a 75% chance to get the 2 die for the surf, essentially.
Yeah, you love those odds if you're Thessa after the wizard.
Well, yeah, after the wizard, it is still a straight up Thessa loses on a 25%, but that's why I think you bring over. Yeah, you got to bring over more, so that at least you are forcing Swag to try to score.
Here comes the surf.
Alright, it hasn't started yet for me, so if it's happening on your screen,
No,
don't say
I'm
anything.
just saying here comes the surf in terms of turn ordering for me.
Oh, yeah. So you think you're leaving Lavoisier up as the scoring threat here?
Lavoisier, sorry, I'm looking for
He's the sure hands goat.
Yes, you save him because you don't know where that ball is going.
Yep, that's fair. Yeah, because there's a world where he gets the surf and it still scatters into the Elves, and it's fine. I honestly, thinking back on this, I think Scipio should have just been left where he was. Just throw him to the Wolves, you know? Because he would have done much more to block up movement being in the middle of all those Chaos pieces that got to move over than he's doing on the ground stunned here.
You hate sacrificing your star player for 2 turns in a row, though.
Yeah, but it's also like... It was a 3+ dodge out that he failed. That's not, a low-risk play.
Scipio was trying to base the sacker.
That makes
his positioning much different.
That does make a lot more sense, because then at least it's an extra dodge out. Guten Abend.
Alright, so...
As
1,000%, it's a turn order now for it.
Oh!
It's that 25%. It's a 1 in 9 regardless.
Yep. So...
It's easy to blitz off the Chaos Warrior, set up a screen onto the Movement 9 catcher. You don't even have to set up a screen on the Movement 9.
No, you can... You're gonna get deep enough. You can just base up...
This has been the dream scenario for the Big O.
Yeah,
Is he going to allow another potential surf?
Please do not do this, Swag. You got away
I don't
with
care
one.
if it's a 6-up. If you're Chaos, you take a 6-up potential surf.
Yeah, there's 0 point in stalling here. Going up 2-0 and then forcing the Chaos to 2-turn back is the dream scenario for you.
He's leaving another surf, and this is not even a 6-up, it's a 5-up.
Thessa will burn a reroll on this to get this ball out.
Yes. Yes, he will.
This is... I mean... At this point, I mean, you just take Gaius Gracchus and you take this GFI here, right?
You have to take the GFI.
Yeah, okay, he does.
It makes it a harder play, but you still go for it if you're Thessa.
No, I mean, you lose the game if this doesn't work. Granted, this is a much safer position for Swag, but I think this is still... This is still, like... not optimal.
55%er is better than the 75%er. Luke can confirm.
Every time.
Yeah.
As we're just going to leave...
And the thing is that you don't hate that it's not even a 2-die. The 1-die is just fine.
Yeah.
That basing doesn't change much.
Nope. You just... I don't know what else you do here. I guess you move Lavoisier down to be a scoring threat. That's what you do. Because he's got the extra arms, which does help on the catch.
You don't need to because you have a couple of scoring threats that are just the Beastmen.
Yeah, but...
And Lavoisier is the better recovery threat to get them the ball.
That is true. As it looks like we are going to... What are we doing? Are we just basing up this elf?
He is continuing to do safe moves first.
But...
He wants to get the diving tackle into the play.
I don't...
With forehand.
I guess so, but I mean... I guess I don't know how much it matters, considering Swag's just going to score next turn if this doesn't go off.
With him moving that Lavoisier, he's just praying for a great scatter now.
Yeah. He's, The thing is, even if he gets this sack, he's not out of the woods. If the scatter is anywhere in his half, it's not out of the realm of possibility that the Elves just get it and score here. I mean, hell, if the scatter goes into Scipio's territory, even though it's a really small area...
Thessa has taken away all of his scoring threats.
Okay, Thessa is just trying to go in the half down 1-0 at this point. Actually, that's not... Oh, he made this 2-die.
He did make it a 2-die.
That was spicy,
I like the
though.
1-die sack.
That was spicy, though. And there's a failed dodge, so no reroll for the hard one. And he doesn't make it.
2-0 half for Swagtusk. Big O rejoices.
Yep. Darwin could have been a scoring threat, just saying. And there we go. High Elves in the driving seat.
Self, you have to be movement 7 to score from 4 squares off the line of scrimmage. You're correct, he didn't move, but...
Blitzer does come back, so...
If your one scoring threat is an Agility 1 Minotaur, that is ridiculous. Yeah,
no, I mean... I think Thessa should have left one of the Agility 3 goats back. So with the wrestle piece going out, Swag does have to put a guard line on the line here, which definitely doesn't feel good. As he goes full team preservation here. Yeah, Minos are normally Agi too.
Yeah, they're normally Agi too, but this one's Agi busted.
Yep. Feeding Minotaurs touchdowns is definitely an interesting way to play, though, with Wild Animal.
Yeah. So, Agility 1 scoring threat with Wild Animal and a Loner.
Yeah.
There's just so many things wrong with that situation. Catcher. Mr. Christie, but you're a Mad Lad unlike anybody,
I
so it
mean,
doesn't count.
you can give the Minotaur extra arms, and big hand. Make a strength 5 ball carrier that needs to blitz every turn to do anything. um, but yeah, this is not looking good for Thessa. Yep, exactly, Aldar. These are ideas for the next HJMC, which Minotaurs are definitely the best HJMC players, I think.
It looks like Thessa is setting up for the riot
Don't
because it is the Squig sandwich kiosk.
don't blame him because he does not have movement 7, and movement 6 1-turns are not generally possible. That's not the one, though. So this guard piece is probably going to get punched and then stepped on here. This is true. Rogers are a close second. I'm just more thinking Minotaurs, I believe, get... Chaos Minotaurs get mutations on normals. And they're Agi 2, so they can do some ball shenanigans if they need to. And it's HGMC, so it's considered proper play to let your big guy blitz every turn anyway. So, you know, there's options there. Human Ogre is also really good, just because it's reliable.
And here comes the pylon.
Stompy stompy. Nothing.
A 6 and a 6. That's fun.
Together, they make a 12. Too bad he didn't roll the 12. As Darwin... Finally, wild animals.
Darwin was frustrated not tying up 4 players when he had the opportunity to do so. That would have really changed the dynamic of the half.
Yeah. Such a good Minotaur, though.
He is such a good minnow.
Oop, as here we go. And we do get a KO, so that's something.
One thing I just want to point out is why can't I get the armor like these high elves have had today? Because that has been the bane of my existence in my Rebel season.
I assume Big O Black Magic. They have some sort of deal with the devil down there.
Yeah, true, I agree with you. The 75% surf was unnecessary.
Yep. Fling trees, fair point. In HJMC, because you get 2 of them. And that's going to be a send-off. And it's just a stun out of it, so just
Baiting
about...
the surf is a normal play, but you could lose all the advantage that you got from the wizard, Captain Deuce. I don't like that normal play.
Yeah. Just about everything has not gone Thessa's way this first half. As his kick is going to be out. He now does not have the luxury of stalling and scoring in 8 turns. He has to score fast, and then he has to defend.
The positioning is going to be really loose. After this half, I like Swagtusk winning 3-1.
Yeah. 3-1 or even 2-1. Swag doesn't need to force a score. He can just hold the ball back in his half and wait to see if Thessa makes a mistake and overextends.
Mr. Christie, did you like my comeback from down 2-0? I don't know if you were watching the game.
Yeah, no. 3-1 definitely more likely, but I don't hate if Thessa doesn't get aggressive enough on the defense he's going to have to play here if Swag just keeps it and is like, that's fine, I'm happy winning by 1 score. He's going to have to get aggressive with the minnow, I think. And Thessa does play a very minnow-centric game. He loves blitzing with it, because, you know, a Claw Mighty Blow Strength 6-piece with block so it's reliable is really good, as it turns out.
Yes. Yes, it is. I agree with that excess. That was the thing I brought up at the start of this game, is I don't hate going offense first against kill teams, because if you score turn 4, turn 5, they want to score on this half, and then that leaves ball more exposed, and there's better chance to go up 2-0.
Yep. And especially if you have a wizard or some other way, you know, some X factor like this Agility 5 Leap Sacker piece, you can exploit their weaknesses a lot more. As Kick is going to send this. Where's Kick going to send this? Squig Sandwich Kiosk prevents anything bad from happening, and it's a nice deep kick, so Swag wasn't playing for the blitz. He's just playing to waste time here.
I love the waste time play. And here comes the Claw Mighty Blow.
Yep, so...
Elves praying that their armor holds.
Well, just a stun is fine, as far as Swag is concerned. Every removal here brings Thessa a little bit more back into this game, is kind of the situation he's in.
Here comes the Claw Palmer. He's definitely going to go for the palm here.
Oh yeah. This High Elf team is not going to foul. And there's the stomp.
The thing is that you can't even judge if High Elf team is a fouling High Elf team, because you haven't exposed him to a chance to get fouled yet.
True. This is true. He's been very good at protecting it. Which is, you know, just because it's a bad team for fouling doesn't mean you want to give him the option to if he decides it's worth it.
3 pushes.
And one more hit here, and there's the knockdown. So, unfortunately, no break. He will get the blitz, which I assume is probably going to go against the kicker here. But that will potentially leave a warrior exposed, because they're going to have to use most of their movement to get up and even hit the kicker in the first place.
He's not going for it. He's going for
Oh, I forgot. This warrior does have tackle, so it's a decent shot to hit the guard here. As Sir Pickles, thank you for the follow, dude, and welcome to the second half of this playoff game, which is... Big O folks are probably pretty happy right now.
It's a big oof if you're a REBBL fan.
And the blitz is no good. Gets a 1-9 there. So the possibility to get some punches back here if you're Arch, or not Arch, sorry, you just talked about Arch. If you're Swagtusk. And this is a I want to score fast sort of aggressive move here.
Yeah, he's definitely aiming for a 3-turn score.
Yeah, he's gonna push down this left side of the pitch. He is gonna kind of block himself into going down this left side, so the Elves are gonna be able to defend a little more effectively. But again, no wizard, so he doesn't have to be as careful of the wizard. And the Minotaur could get in a good spot and force a lot of Elves to deal with the Minotaur for a turn instead of stopping the ball from scoring. So there's options as... Oh!
That's a good armor break.
That is a very good armor break for Swagtusk.
That armor break might just force a 4-turn scenario.
Yep.
At best from Thessa, because now he can't bully as much as he wanted to.
Yep. That is the worst piece to have on the ground for a turn, I think, in this current situation. Especially because your Palmer's on the ground also, so he's not going to be able to get as far forward. Arch isn't the only high elf coach. I know, it's only because someone said it in chat. And it was on my mind. I blame self.
He is moving that movement catcher way out of the way. He does not want to have that side switch. He wants to kind of funnel him towards the sideline.
Yeah, I think he's... Ooh, spicy tentacles. Dodge.
Tentacles can't do nothing. Same with the 3+.
Oh, elves. How we love you. And by love, I mean loathe. It's a classic elf maneuver there. So, if you're Thessa, what do you do in this situation? This is close to his nightmare scenario.
I think, if anything, you're going to consider Minnow Blitz. It's risky as hell.
Minnow,
but you need to get the Minnow into a position where he can start to bully a bit.
the Minnow can punch a hole, but yeah, I guess it's like you kind of have to blitz with the Minnow to get him up there, otherwise you're relying on a coin flip to move him, which is not great.
If you get the coin flip, he's in a great spot.
Yeah, but the other problem is, like, the person who I see you want to blitz to make the best hole here is Corculum here, the Strength 4 guy, but because of the stunned Chaos Warrior, you have to move 5 spaces with Darwin just to hit him the first time, which means you're going to be making a GFI with a loner piece if you don't knock him over.
I actually don't hate blitting Gaius Julius Caesar.
Yeah, I think that's your backup plan, right? Is just hit this guy, but then you don't open a hole, really. You just kind of get the Minnow involved, but you make no forward progress. So this looks like Thessa acknowledging he's not going to get much this turn, and he's going to go for a 4-turn. Or even a 5-turn at this point, which is really...
This is feeling better and better for Big L here.
This is getting really sketchy.
Minnow Blitz.
Yeah, Minnow Blitz on Gaius, I think. Or Minnow Blitz to maybe open up the possibility that he reverses the field.
He set himself with an opportunity to get split really easily.
But there's the wild animal. Good discipline to not reroll it, but that really screws his ability to go forward. And yeah, I think there's 3 pieces that are going to get isolated here.
Yeah, nice big guy idiot.
Yep.
For as much as I love the Minnow, that is why the Minnow is terrified.
This is why any big guy is can't really be relied on. Yeah.
That's why I think Bonehead is the best Nega trait in the game.
I think
you lose tackle zones, but just the fact that you don't need anything else to move him is such a big deal.
Yeah. Wild Animal is fine if you're building a roadblock piece. So, like, guard, stand firm.
So, Thessa's Minnow?
Yeah, but Thessa uses his Minnow as, like, a more aggressive blitzer style piece. Where instead of just parking him on things and then just, like, you know, if he rolls a 1, oh well, he doesn't lose his tackle zones. So, it's not the worst. I will agree, though, in regular non-HJMC Blood Bowl, I think the Croxagore is the best big guy. Bonehead, Prehensile Tail, good to just park on some dudes and laugh at them.
Yes.
Yeah, and parking, the problem with parking a Minnow or a Yeti on something is they're AV8, so if they do get punched over, they can break.
Yep.
Fling Tree is movement 2. Also, I think...
No. When Mr. Christie's talking about Fling Trees, he's talking about Twiggy.
Yeah, but Twiggy is the best single big guy in the game, but not the best big guy archetype in the game. Let's put it that way.
He's the best big guy archetype. If you roll those skills, you take them.
Oh, yeah, no, but, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Twiggy, the player, is the best big guy in Rebel, bar none. Trees are not the best big guy in Blood Bowl.
Arch, I agree.
Oh, hey, Arch.
This team is phenomenal.
I just accidentally called Swagtusk you 5 minutes ago. What's up? And yes, this is a fantastic High Elf team. As we do get the Claw Mighty Blow hit here.
Ooh,
Oh, and
guys,
Caesar
give me
goes
Caesar.
down, and Arch, let's see if Arch jinxed him.
No,
Nope,
this bad
he's fine. He's fine. 2 trees with no loner is really good. I'll give you that. But yeah, it's the supporting cast.
Truk makes a point. The movement 6
Yeah.
on the Croxador is what really puts him over the top.
Oh, yeah. Honestly, the Rat Ogre is, as he does try to move the minnow, but as we said, that coin flip comes up tails in this case. But yeah, Rat Ogre would also be good if it wasn't on Skaven and it was just kind of completely useless for what the team wants to do.
There is one coach I know for a fact. I don't know if he's still in chat, but Nillyman is, in my opinion, the best Skaven coach with the Roger that he uses consistently. I love watching Nillyman play Skaven because he knows how to use the Roger.
Yep. Swag does still have his Apo Surge, so... Or Surge on.
You just call him Surge.
It is Surge. Okay, I wasn't sure.
Yes. Maybe even Surge Protector if you're feeling a bit memey.
I don't know. Has he protected anything recently?
He's protecting his big O brethren in chat. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll give him that. Yeah, as Thessa is now...
Ooh, scoring threat. Gone.
Yep, this is a 5-turn. He has nothing to score turn 12. And Swag's going to be able to reposition here. And Swag gets plenty of hits if he wants them. So he can push this line back, even. The way that Thessa has based up here does not stop Swagtusk from basing up back and taking hits.
Yeah, the thing is that Thessa had to be aggressive. He has to score 2 touchdowns to even have a chance.
Yeah. Yeah, and Incesticide saying this game is going to be very, very hard for Thessa unless everything starts breaking his way. He needs to score on turn 13. Then he needs to get a blitz and a short kick. Then he needs to be able to recover the ball and get it down the field in 3 turns. Like, that's not ideal.
I will say that this was a 75% chance away from possibly being Thessa's game to lose.
Yes.
Swagtusk needs to reevaluate his decision-making after the Wizard.
He got away with the sideline cage. It was off of a 25% chance to get away with it. But
yes.
That is Blood Bowl sometimes. And it's never GG until the final whistle, you know. Anything.
That's the thing.
Anything can happen in the last 6 turns, but it is very... Oh, as we do see a 1 there. Might as well re-roll this.
If you had $1 for every time someone called GG and they ended up winning,
there's another one.
I'm pretty sure you would be more well off than you ever have been.
Yeah. All right.
Life.
So those 1s, case in point, actually, those 1s now make the turn 13 score, I think, very likely. Swag's a little out of position here, and Thessa's going to be able to eat up a lot of field.
Monclaw Palmer. Okay.
Palm it, right?
Can't. No.
He's thinking about it.
He wants to.
He does it.
I don't like the decision.
Doesn't get anything out of it. But I think what you're doing here is you're blitzing down Agrippa, and then you're cutting to the side here with all of your pieces. And
I like what Arch said. You blitz down the thrower, because the thrower is really what opens up Swagtusk offense. And if he doesn't have this piece that opens up the offense, all of a sudden you have a better shot to steal and score.
This is true, and he can actually get through without having to blitz down Agrippa. So there is a tunnel here that was opened up by Camillus failing his dodge. But yeah, I agree with that. I think you take Pythagore here and you just go smack Africanus in the face and hope that you kill something. I say as he takes Pythagore the opposite direction and doesn't smack Scipio in the
He's going to
face.
blitz with the minnow.
Well, that is a risky blitz.
When hasn't Thessa done a risky blitz today?
This is fair. Yes, casting is so much fun. You have to have no ego to cast, I feel like, because you have to... okay, good. He does move the ball before closing off the cage.
Yes.
Okay, close off the cage. Probably with your diving tackle guy, I would think.
No, he's deciding whether he wants to have the closed-off cage with Heisenberg, or if he wants to have the diving tackle be the guy that is just plain safety.
Actually, no, yeah, you want the diving tackle to go base up Augustus here. Because Augustus, at some point, might just decide to leap in and red die the ball.
Well, if you leap in, the diving tackle does nothing.
That is true. But if you leap in, you can leap in for a 1 die or you can leap in for a red die. And if you leap in for a 1 die, you're going to have to dodge out a diving tackle. Yeah, no guard on the back, as Incesticide has pointed out. And there is DT on the ball, and here comes the big boy.
So the big thing about the tentacles getting onto the sack...
Oh.
Just kidding.
Not anymore!
Just kidding.
Nice big guy. Nice big guy.
Nice loader, idiot.
No, you know what it was? It was
Oh.
tactically burning a 6 so that he couldn't dodge out a diving tackle. Oh, Darwin.
My gosh, that's amazing.
Oh, Darwin.
If Darwin isn't had a real effect today, that minnow would be dead.
How? I mean, hear me out. This is probably kind of a BM play. Gang fouling the Minotaur. with your block lineman. You dodge out the strength 4 catcher, you punch off De Broglie. You punch off this guy, you get as many dudes on that Minotaur as possible, and you just kick him in the head as hard as you can.
And then if he complains about it, you just say, this is Darwinism at its finest.
Yeah. Or you just tell him, like, you know, hey, score and it stops. You don't help your opponent, that would be collusion. I like that. Yeah, this is not looking good. Oh, he's going for the sack.
He's going for the sack.
Oh, he's going for the sack.
So if you do a leap...
You can...
no.
Oh, he's blocked his way in.
No. He's fine.
Oh, but he's...
What? What?
Is he just going in, like on... Is he just YOLOing the 4+ here? With,
He might be just slowing down the cage by tagging up the back end of it.
Yeah, but the cage is in scoring range, and Thessa's going to score next turn. Oh, he's just putting tackle on the ball. He's just forcing him to roll extra dice.
Fair enough.
Just one more block or 2+ before you get to score.
Make sure that you put guard to protect your mighty blow piece from the diving tackle.
Yeah, you'd have to dodge out guard here. So, sadly, we're not going to see a gang foul on the Minotaur.
Or you could just do 1 GFI.
There it is. So yeah, this is just make a 2+ to score. Don't roll a 1. Definitely don't roll snakes. Do you blitz from the floor with the Minotaur? Just for shits and giggles here?
No. You don't risk a 1 in 36 from the minnow.
That's fair. Then surely you blitz with, well, you definitely take this hit with, your warrior here.
Oh,
Nope.
he does do it.
You blitz from the floor with the minnow.
There's the push.
You
Okay.
could have made that a 3-0. Oh, that's fine. Never mind. He's got blocked.
Scipio.
Ah, he's fine.
Scipio.
Scipio has
He's
been the
a
MVP
real
of this
player.
game. Absolute MVP of this game.
Yeah, I agree, Lumi. I was looking at that play.
Yeah, no, you just take the 2+ either way.
Yeah.
And he makes it.
All right. So
So
you're telling me there's a chance.
Thessa is on the board and in this game, but he's going to need some help from the kickoff event or from some truly horrific dice on Swagtusk's part.
Or both.
Well, probably both, I think, here.
Yeah. Well, if you have a great kickoff event, then and a blitz and it's a short kick, you have a shot no matter what.
Yep. So the Romans are finally down a player. They're only fielding 10. But fielding 10 on turn 13 is, you know, you're laughing if you're High Elves at this point.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. If the thrower had been removed, which I think is why he risked the minnow blitz, because if the thrower is out, then that takes a pretty big dimension out of the game for Swagtusk.
It certainly does.
Unfortunately, the kicker getting sent off earlier does mean he can't place it short to hope for the blitz, so he's going to have to rely on chance. That is an interesting spot for the Minotaur to go. I wonder if that's temporary.
He's going to do an aggressive chevron style, I believe.
He's putting Stand Firm on the sidelines. Oh, he's putting Stand Firm on the sides to prevent
He's
Swag from just taking a side.
Middle play.
Yeah. I actually don't mind this. I think that's smart. Arrogant High Elf laughing noises, indeed.
High Elves are the most glorious of elves. What can I tell you guys? Oh, so there goes your Stand Firm protecting sidelines.
Okay.
Dave.
Well, what is he just... Oh, ho, 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 ho. I don't have a thin or reedy enough voice to do High Elves, I don't think.
Oh man, the thing I love about High Elves is I like to play up how they're oh so glorious and play up all their arrogance, and then I have Captain Zoom that just backs it up on the field.
Yeah, that's the problem. 2K High Elf teams are among the scariest in the game. Unlike Wood Elves, which are like, you know, it's not that 2K Wood Elves aren't scary, it's just they, you know, at 2K they pop easier. High Elves have a little bit of armor to keep them on the field.
And that's why he played Orcs for so long.
It is why I played Orc for so long. Now I'm a Norseman, so I guess I communicate in screaming.
And nakedness.
Screaming and chugging beer.
Screaming, chugging beer, and nakedness.
Yep.
Come on now.
Well, I mean, yeah. I do love. I think this little cape that that Scipio has is really Roman, and I think it fits the theme really well. Here, I'm switching the view. Look at that thing.
Oh yeah.
Look at those tassels. It's glorious. And so very, very High Elf. I do think if the Romans were in Blood Bowl, they would be High Elves. Same amount of arrogance.
Maybe more.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, everyone
but
else is just kind of like, it's fine.
So the thing is, with the super thrower, as long as you get the ball on him, Thessa has to leave a player back just in case of the punt. You can't go super aggression as long as the thrower has the ball.
Yeah, exactly. Quick double screen from Swag here.
Oh, that's a short kick.
That is a very anti-blitz.
It's a
However,
high kick.
unfortunately, the thrower is just going to walk over and catch this on a 2+. Or the catcher is going to walk over and catch this on a 2+ with a reroll. And roll a 6 anyway.
If he's going to have anybody do that, I'd actually kind of like the wrestle piece to do it.
Yeah,
sacker.
the agility 5. Yeah, because then it's...
Yeah, so that way it's a 1 in 36 that you don't catch the ball.
And, yep. First order of operations here is just to get the ball oh so very safe.
All right, and now Thessa has to be aggressive, but since the ball is on the thrower, he has to leave at least one player back in his aggression.
Exactly. The high kick was not the kickoff event Thessa needed. I think Swagtusk goes for 3 here, definitely, Arch. Hanging around in the back does carry the risk that if Thessa is able to break through the line,
he wants to get Augustus the touchdown. He's going to find a way to do it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Augustus is definitely the man of the hour, I think.
He's going to find a way to get Augustus a touchdown.
You could just leap him through, honestly.
No, he's going to wait until Thessa over to go in with Augustus.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess the problem of leaping him through is you're leaping him through to get Blitz down. As Tentacles does do a thing. Realistically, though, all that's doing is that's forcing one of those 3 players to hit that lineman instead of moving forward, so I think that's fine. And there is your hole on the left side of the field here for us.
Is it really a hole when he just gives you the side?
No, it's a chasm.
It's your lane. It's your lane, not your hole. It's your lane.
Yeah, it's dictating the side of play.
Lumi, every time I've tried to bring up ways that Thessa can maximize the tentacles, he doesn't do it with the minnow.
Yep, he's just gonna slap that guy in the face. Another stun.
There's no point, Lumi. He doesn't maximize the tentacles. I think that's my biggest criticism of Thessa's game.
Plenty of armor breaks for the Minotaur, just nothing with them. He just gets a bunch of stuns. Oh!
That's a reroll.
Not what you needed there. And I don't think you oh, you definitely don't pile this on. As Nero
Big
is...
Chuck, I'm a mod in your channel. Big Chuck gets the timeout.
Nero is going to go off to the sidelines to fiddle while Thessa's team burns. Oh, this is clear abuse.
I'm not going to have anti-minnow rhetoric in your channel.
Mod abuse. Back to the game.
All right, Matt, wait. I should have clarified. I'm not going to have anti-minnow from Big Chuck in Duke's channel. Anybody else, it's fine to do it. But Big Chuck, that's where I draw the line.
Immediately after James Typhoon says it. Thank you. I appreciated that. I appreciate that, Arch. It's not often I get to flex my major, so... Metal saying, Minnows ducking suck, come at me. Minnows... Minnows are they're a player for a certain type of coach. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
They're a player for a coach that appreciates the fun side of Blood Bowl.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think that the minnow could have had such a bigger impact on this game if Thessa abused the tentacles and supported him with some warriors. It could have been a completely different game.
Yeah, I think
change my mind.
it's fair to say that regardless of your feeling on Minotaurs, Thessa has not used this Minotaur to its full potential.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at with it.
Yeah, he went for a potential surf play when he could have tied up 4 players and made the wizard a worse option because there's so many players tied up.
Yeah. I think it's... Yes, the Minnow's probably getting punched when you do that, but then players are punching the Minotaur instead of sacking your ball. Like... That's not going to end up in the YouTube video because the export doesn't bring chat, but...
Oh, man.
So, what do you do here if you're Swagtusk?
Apparently blitz that player.
Well, I guess you still have the ability to screen off the ball for one more turn and keep it in your backfield. You can run into the corner and you will be safe in this very small area in the corner.
Yeah.
Technically, he is not safe. I'm just gonna put
this
it out
is a
there.
cowering in the corner play that.
Okay, now he's gonna be safe. I mean, theoretically, if I'm Thessa, the Palmer can reach the thrower here with some pretty silly dodges. Ooh, I think he burns a reroll.
I wanted
on this.
Augustus to be the scoring threat because he couldn't have been surfed if he went onto the sideline. Unless you wanted to blitz with the minnow.
Yeah. So, what is it? A 4+, 3+, 4+, 4+, 5+, 2+, 2+ to hit the ball here, if you're Thessa.
I really wanted Augustus thrown downfield. I want him to see potentially be the scoring threat.
He does have... Swag does have 2 turns, so there's still time to put someone downrange.
Augustus is not going to be in range.
No,
and that is the player that was going to level up off of the touchdown, which could change the game in this next playoff game.
Yeah, I agree. I think this is overly passive, but at the same time, can you really knock Swag for just really making sure that no shenanigans can happen?
It was just a 2+2+. I like giving yourself a chance to level them up.
Yeah. Don't hate it either. As we are going to see plenty of scoring threats for the Chaos here. Here's my question. Do you hit the ball this turn? Or do you just hit one of the screen and base the ball?
If you're hitting the ball, aren't you doing some crazy play?
You're doing a crazy play, yeah. It's a slightly less crazy play to hit the screen.
Or you just use the minnow.
Or you blitz.
That's gonna tie up one player.
Or you blitz with the Minotaur. Get the POW.
That's fun.
It's something. Now you don't have options to base up the ball. I think Thessa is mostly going to die with this cow at this point.
I love how he's tying up one player. And not...
Yeah, and
that's why you take tentacles. Is player.
The play here, I think, is you just run up and you throw it. You just yeet this ball as far as you possibly can.
Arch, you're not the only one that feels... I feel attacked, but you should feel more attacked.
This is true, also. I'm kind of rooting for Swag because we've never had a Big O champion.
Oh, metal with the bird! Arch, you can leave.
Oh!
Arch, feel free to leave.
I like having metal in chat. This is nice.
I made it to the round of 32 before you made it harder.
I think what we're seeing is Metal saw Arch make it to the round of 32 and is just like, yeah, we can't have that. And then he opened it up to 64. That was why you have 64 people in playoffs. 61, excuse me. This is true.
All right. One thing that Thessa has to remember to do, he has to have Lavoisier go down and be the safety for the punt.
If Lavoisier does not move backwards here,
that's the mistake right there.
Yep. All that Swag has to do is throw it back to.
No, he's not doing it.
I
don't like this. This gives the Chaos a chance.
Yeah.
It's not a great chance, but it gives them a chance.
Yeah, this is... I mean, he's going to corner cage in, like, the most annoying way possible here. So...
Yeah.
At least...
I agree. It's not great, but it just... There's more of a chance than getting the ball out of range.
I guess the risk is if he fails to throw it. So, if he 1-9s it, which is, it can happen, and the ball lands at his feet, that also gives the Chaos a chance.
Well, the thing is that, so you blitzed with Scipio. You could have blitzed with Scipio, handed it off to the movement 9 piece, and the movement 9 piece could have done the punt.
Yeah. I like this, though. He's saved the reroll just in case Thessa pulls off the miracle, so we can one turn in response. Is there any way to make this easier than, let's see, you can do 1, 2, 4+, 5+, 5+, hit the ball. 4+, 5+, 5+, 2+, excuse me, to hit the ball.
No, it's not even a 2+.
No, there's a GFI in there.
Oh, there's not. If you use a Heisenberg 5.
Oh yeah, you can come in from this way. Good point. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. 4+, 5+, 5+. Easy.
That's your best odds.
Easy.
Go for it, Thessa. Or is he going to blitz with the cow again?
Oh, the cow finally moved on a 4+.
Sorry, I saw the cow move.
Just throwing it out there. I mean, this is obviously not how dice work, but that's a 5 that he burned there. That could have been his first dodge through. Just saying.
Oh, there's also a 6 that was burned.
Yep. This feels to me like...
Okay, wait, that push doesn't make it easier. Nope.
No, doesn't change anything. This is just Thessa fishing for some SPP before he loses this game, I think.
It's a 2-die sack now.
It is. That's something.
But you take threats.
Oh, he's going...
And I don't like going with...
No, this is... Oh!
That's the more difficult play that you're doing,
no,
Thessa.
but I actually see he opened up a 5+... It's only a 5+, 5+ here.
Okay.
So, I actually like this.
That's actually... Okay.
He opened it up. He just needs to make one more 5+. And he's got a reroll. He's got a reroll. Nope, that's it.
So
3
there's
into a 4.
Two stories of the game that I just want to point out. Tentacles not being used to its full potential on the minnow, and every single surf attempt that Swag left missed.
Yeah. Some things definitely broke against Thessa in this game. He had a 75% surf on the ball in the first half that didn't come off, as Swag does miss a surf on that Chaos Warrior. But, well, I guess it wouldn't... He couldn't have pushed him anyway, but... I think GGs are being said here as we get a Vanity Pass. There's no scoring threat here, so it will end 2-1 in favor of the Romans. And that's the game.
And congratulations, Swagtusk. Congratulations, Big L.
Yep.
And that minnow is not MVP.
That is a undeserved. That is an undeserved MVP by Darwin. I'm sorry. Decent MVP though, landing for Swag. He's only a Vanity Pass away from a level now, and having a Blodge lineman to stick on the line is pretty nice.
So I just do want to point out, I'm 99.99% sure that Thessa purposely tied his last game of the season to potentially dodge Jimmy Fantastic, and he still went out in the round of 32.
Yep. So I know people.
Congratulations, Swagtusk.
Yay! Congratulations, Swag. Metal pointing out the Minnow was MVP for the High Elves, which I can get behind that. But people can try to jockey around positioning in the bracket to make sure that they get the matchup that they want. At the end of the day, it's still Blood Bowl. It doesn't really matter. Every matchup in the playoffs is going to be incredibly hard. And as Thessa found out here, sometimes you're going to have days where the dice just do not break your way a little bit, and that's all you need for a really good coach to style on you. So, commiserations to Thessa. He will not be the first coach to get both Challengers and Super Bowl just yet, as his campaign ends here. He will be back for Div 1 Rel next season, though, so we will have another chance. Swagtusk moving on to the round of 16, so the Big O dream remains alive here. And the team is healthy. There's very little damage done to it. So we take a look. Wild Animal.
There's no damage done. Right?
No damage. Yeah,
none.
No damage done. That's true. It was all badly hurts. And yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, this game did hinge on that failed sack play, but
yeah,
that's
the one thing I want you to look at, Swagtusk, is your positioning after the wizard. You left two too many opportunities for it to go horribly.
Yep. Yeah. Well, any other closing thoughts, Blue?
No, I've said what I thought was the defining moments in the game, time and time again today.
And I think you've said everything very well, and I agree with you there. It's not much else that Thessa could have done except actually use his Minotaur the way it's supposed to be used, which would have completely changed the flow of the game.
Yes.
But yeah, Swag plays a very strong game outside of a few positional mishaps that he fortunately doesn't get punished for, and he's through. So thank you to everybody who tuned in. I missed a few follows here, so I'm just going to run through them. We got Onigoku, Nillyman, Zunk, Orifer, and Sir Pickles all followed. Thank you guys so much. And Debt Monkey, thanks for the Prime sub, dude. It's much appreciated. To everyone else who just tuned in to watch, I hope you all enjoyed the cast. We'll hopefully see some more playoff action on here soon. But for now, I've been Doof.
And I've been True Blue.
Thank you guys very much. I'm going to play us out with the REBBL intro here, and that'll be it. Thanks, guys.